Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we'll break down the concept of functions in C, what they are, why they are important, and how they help organize and reuse code. Whether you're building a calculator or you're managing bank transactions, functions are key to writing clean, modular, and reusable code. By the end of this tutorial, you will learn the following things. You'll be able to understand the syntax and structure of a C function. You will learn why and when to use functions. You master different types of functions, like the functions that take parameters and ones that do not take parameters. You look at inbuilt functions and user-defined functions. So at the end, you will know how to define and explain the purpose of a function, declare, define, and call functions. Now, what is a function? Right. A function is a reusable block of code that perform a specific task. So we can say it's a self-contained block of code, or you can say it's a reusable block of code that perform a specific task. Now, when we are coding, we always want to use you always hear people talking of the word dry, right? So you don't repeat yourself. So function helps you to actually achieve that, so that you write once and use multiple times. Functions helps you to break your code into modules that are easy to maintain and reuse. So when we talked of functions, right, functions give us that modularity. It makes us easy to debug our code. Now, functions are actually of two types. We have the library functions, which we have already started using the library functions like the printf and the scanf. Then we have user-defined functions. So in this tutorial, we're going to be looking at these functions. So inbuilt functions, like I've said, we have already started using them. So these are functions that come with the C programming language. So the creators of C actually defined some functions that like the main function, which we have already started using, right? So apart from the main function, we have also used the printf statement that prints on screen, and also the scanf that collects users input. So immediately we'll go directly into functions. So like we've said, right, the functions, let me just give the basic syntax of a function. So for a function, we're going to have the return type, the function name, and also the function can take parameter list, right? Then we can have whatever the function is doing here. So this will be like the function body, right? So we have the return type. The return type simply is going to be whatever you're returning after the function execute. So it can be int, it can be void, it can be float, it can be double, right? It just depends on what you're getting back. So, and then function name is the name of the function. Then parameters can be what you want the function to collect, and then the function body. So in this program, I'll do first just a simple function that I'll just do void say hello, right? So that is my return type, right? My return type here is void, and then I have say hello, right? So I can just do print f here, and I say welcome to C functions, right? C functions \n. Now when this program runs, right, return 0. So if I run this program, right, nothing gets printed on the screen, right? Nothing gets printed on the screen, right? Because I'm not actually printing anything in the main. So now what I'll do is I can For the function to run, I have to call the function. So we have defined our function above, and then now we're calling. So this is calling a function. And now, so if I run this again, and the text gets printed on screen. Now I can call these functions multiple times. So let me just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. So let me just go 1, 2, 3. Right. So if I run it as many times as possible, then it's just going to print that on screen as many times as possible, right? So we can, that is what we said, write once and then use multiple times, and don't repeat yourself. So now this is a function that does not take any parameter. So if you can see within the say hello, I didn't give any parameter there, right? And the one thing that you must have noticed is that a function will not execute once the program starts running, but the function will only execute once you have once you call the function. So now I'm going to make another function called add, which is just going to take two numbers and add them and return it to me. So I can come here now in my, so I've declared a function int. The return type here is int, and then I have a return type, so a function that has a return type. So I'm just doing the sum of two numbers. So now in this, I can easily just come here and write here that integer result will be equals to, I call the function add, then I put 40, 50, right? Then I can print out the result, or the sum is, let me put equal to sum equal %d. Then now I just do result, right? So if I run this now, so it gives me the sum is 90, right? So, and I can call it as many times also as possible. Or there is also another thing that we can do. We can actually ask, can declare n1, n2. Then now I do please printf enter two numbers, \n. Then I'm going to do scanf. I just do %d for the two numbers, right? So I do %n1, %n2, %n1. Okay, so and then here I'm going to pass in n1 and 2. So let's run. So it asks me to enter two numbers, 2 and 3, right? It gives me the sum as 5. So now this makes it a little bit it becomes dynamic, right? So my add function actually is user defined, so I define it, same as the say hello is user defined. The say hello does not take any parameter, while the add function actually takes 2 parameters. Now this is good. So now let's extend this, what we're doing to, so let me just make this part as comment, right? Because now let me do a simple voting system. So I'm going to make a simple voting system where somebody is eligible to vote once they are above 18. So I'll just do integer age, right? Then I'll do printf enter your age, scanf %d %age. Okay, so I'm going to come up here now and I do let me just do void voting age. So it takes an integer called age, and now it will just do an if statement that if the age is greater than or equals to 20, we're going to print f here that you are eligible to vote \n. But if you're less than, so we have the else, we have to do another print f that tells person that you are not eligible to vote \n, right? So that is fine. So I just do print, no, I just call the voting age, then I pass in age as the variable there. So if I run this, it asks me to enter the age. So if I enter 10, it tells me that I'm not eligible. So if I run again, I enter 25, it tells me that I am eligible, right? Now let's continue with what we're doing. So I'm going to put this again as a comment, and then I just go to the next one that I want to do. So now I want to go to a use case. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we'll calculate the factorial of a number. So I'll put so I'll just come here, factorial function, then I'll do integer factorial, and I'll do int n. Now I also have to do if n is equals to 0, right? So the factorial of 0 is wait, I can just do like this, even like return 1, right? Then else I'll put the return n star the factorial. Now in this one we're using recursion. We have not done recursion, but let me just do recursion. Okay, like this is good. I know that we've used some certain things there, so I just do printf, enter a number, then I do scanf %d. Let me just put a %num1 because I've declared num1 above, right? Then now I'll just call the factorial of n1. Or I can do printf, since I don't have any print, the factorial of %d is \n %d. So